Welcome to the Golf Spotlight. I'm Ralph Irvin, and today we are talking about the new family of metal woods from TaylorMade. That's the M1 and M2, and of course, who better to talk to than the Senior Director of Product Creation for Metal Woods, and that's Brian Basil. Baz, it's always great talking with you.
Yeah, Ralph. No, I enjoy this every time. Yep.
The new club is basically taking what was already a fantastic couple of clubs in the M1 and M2 and designing them to just make them that much better.
Yeah, M1 and M2, the original 2016 took the industry by storm.
Right.
It surprised the golf pros too in terms of the performance they can get. And so for us, it was like, okay, how can we advance that, push it to the limits, use our materials, use some new intelligent geometry and shaping to elevate the performance?
And you've been able to do that, but how? What did you do to really make this club that much better?
Well, if I break it down, both on M1 and M2, I would say from a benefit to the golfer, forgiveness across the board, stability both in M1 and in M2. In fact, in the new M1, you basically have the forgiveness of last year's M2 in that one. And then we took M2 and just put it on steroids. I mean, we were able to do this with new titanium, new 6-layer carbon fiber. In the M1, 43% more carbon fiber. And then using these materials in a new way to make the head slightly bigger, or your inertia start to go up, and that ball speed protection on miss hits goes up, everybody can benefit from that.
And of course, all that added carbon fiber really lowers that swing weight, so it makes it that much faster.
Well, just to be specific on that, so we're taking weight out. We want to keep the swing weight, what you feel, not too much lighter than where it is today, but use all that extra weight. In the case of M1, put it in the track where you can adjust heel to toe for draw or fade, or back to front. In this case, that back track is 13 millimeters longer, about a half-inch longer, with more weight in it. Now, 12 grams in the back, 27 grams total. So you can get a bigger change in trajectory now with the new M1. And now in the M2, we're putting about 25 grams of total weight in the back of that head to get the forgiveness to go up.
When you build golf clubs, you take components and you put them together. I mean, that's essentially how clubs are made.
Yeah.
But you actually told me that you have a process with these new clubs that make them almost like custom builds.
It's an incredible process. We call it final finish to final finish. And what I mean is, casting at titanium, there's always some slight variations that come out of each tool, each head. And so what we do is, in previous multi-material constructions across the board, not only in TaylorMade, you have to make that carbon fiber a little thicker. You have to glue it together, polish it down, paint over it, thick paint. What we've been able to do is take every casting that comes off, create a new process to where we can look at each individual one and machine a carbon crown to fit the individual head. And so the precision of that, the durability of that, and every product is designed and looks the way we intended it to look.
And when you talk about precision, one has to ask, really, what is the difference between the M1 and M2? Obviously, there is the customizable aspect that you can tune it up, but in terms of performance, the players are going to wonder, should I be an M2 guy or should I be an M1 guy? And it's more than just whether or not you want to tinker with it.
Yeah, it starts there, right? You have a lot more adjustability in M1, but we've added forgiveness in both. We've made both aerodynamic. The M2 is a bigger head. It's like visually bigger. The face is larger. It's forgiving to look at, and it's high, super high in inertia. So if you're looking and you kind of hit it all over the face, which we know a lot of people do, you're going to benefit from the M2 even more so than the M1. We did come out with a couple special drivers this year that kind of, well, for those players like the D type, the M2 D type, D stands for draw. So if you're always fighting the right side of the golf course or slicing it, that M2 D type is going to give you more performance to get it back in the fairway. Or on the M1, where we have the new 440, that smaller head shape now has 30 grams of weight to move around. So you have even more ability to adjust. It has the forgiveness of last year's 460 and this year's smaller head 440. So the better player might like that one.
Well, and I believe you even said, passed on the way Justin Rose described the difference between these two.
Oh, man. Yeah, he always uses the analogy like it's a Formula One car, the M1. Right? So in Formula One, you're on different tracks. you want to optimize that speed. It comes out fast to begin with, that car, but you're going to dial it in and tweak it just a little bit to get that extra little bit of performance.
One other note along the side of these clubs is it had to be an exciting time to announce the partnership with Tiger Woods, that he's going to be playing your clubs.
I'll tell you what, it's Tiger Woods, right? I mean, he is arguably the best golfer of all time, at least in our generation. And for us to marry up what we think is the best performing products in the world with one of the best players of all time, it's an incredible time for us, and I'm looking forward to watching him play.
All right, Brian, thanks again for the time. If people want more information about all the clubs from TaylorMade, where do they go?
Oh, you can see it everywhere, but TaylorMadeGolf.com has all the best information on the new products.
I want to thank Brian Basil for joining us here on the Golf Spotlight. Join us next time as we continue to give you the information that you need for your next golf purchase.